Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Bianca Rosemeyer, your host, and on behalf of the YWCA of Bombay, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the Sesquicentennial celebration of the YWCA of Bombay. 150 years, ladies and gentlemen. I think we need to start with a resounding applause. So let's put those hands together and give the YWCA of Bombay a huge round of applause for all the wonderful work they have been doing. So let us begin this evening's program by praising God for His faithfulness, for His presence in the past, in the present, in the future, and of course, His hallowed presence this evening here with us. If you are able to rise, we would like you all to stand and join us in singing the beautiful song, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee, to the tune popularly known as Ode to Joy, taken from Ludwig van Beethoven's Symphony No. 9. The words will come up on screen. While we sing the song, may I request our chief guest and guests of honor for the evening to come to the dais for the official ceremony. And after the singing, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you all to remain standing as Shobha Philip will lead us in prayer. But first, we'd like to have the track, please. Thank you.
Psalms 136:1 says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, and His steadfast love endures forever." Lord our God, today we gather with hearts full of gratitude and joy as we celebrate 150 years of the YWCA of Bombay, a journey of faith, service, and empowerment. Thank you, Lord, for your continuous guidance through every generation, for all who have walked this path with vision, courage, and compassion. Thank you, Lord, for the countless lives touched, the hearts uplifted, and futures brightened. We praise you for our faithful members, staff, volunteers, supporters, and all who have labored with love. As we mark this milestone, Lord, we ask you for your presence in this gathering. May your Spirit inspire each of us, Lord. Bless every person present here today. May our hearts be united in purpose and our work rooted in love. Lord, even as we look to the future, we pray for guidance, wisdom, strength, Lord. May YWCA's mission, vision, and motto continue to inspire and empower generations to come. We offer this celebration to you, Lord, with deep thanksgiving. All this we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Kindly be seated, ladies and gentlemen, and we'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Shobha ma'am for leading us in such a beautiful prayer. So it's wonderful to see so many beautiful people present here with us on this wonderful evening to celebrate with the YWCA of Bombay 150 years. One family, one mission. The YWCA is definitely a home away from home, fostering a feeling of bonding and togetherness. To welcome you all in celebrating with the YWCA family and to kickstart this wonderful evening, I now request the President of the YWCA of Bombay, Pavna Anchis, to welcome you all to this glorious celebration. So without further ado, please put those hands together and welcome Pavna to the podium.
This is indeed the Lord's doing, and it's marvelous in our eyes. A faith seed was sown by 4 incredible women 150 years ago. Today we celebrate them and 1,000 other precious women who nurtured YWCA of Bombay lovingly thus far. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is indeed a joyous occasion, and on behalf of the Board of Management, members, and staff, we are so delighted to welcome each one of you to our Sesquicentennial celebrations. A warm welcome to our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Anna Pulimud. Dr. Anna will be formally introduced to you a little later, but I cannot be without mentioning, Doctor, your very presence has inspired all of us. A true woman leader from the noble medical institution at Vellore, built brick by brick by a great lady, Dr. Ida Scudder. Dr. Anna brings with her a great legacy, and we are delighted that you have so graciously accepted our invitation to be here this evening. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. We now like to welcome Gloria Mong Mong, I hope I pronounced it correctly, our guest of honor, board member, YWCA World Council. Gloria has come all the way from Myanmar, and we are so privileged to have you in our midst this evening. Thank you, Gloria, for being with us. Yet another young board member from the YWCA World Council is here with us, Anne Joseph. A warm welcome to you, Anne, and thank you for accepting our invitation and to be our guest of honor. We are blessed to have in our midst Mrs. Kunjaba Matthew, National YWCA President, who have graciously agreed to be with us as our guest of honor despite a busy schedule. We welcome you, Mrs. Matthew. Let's put our hands together for Mrs. Matthew. Vice President of Western Region and National YWCA Executive Committee member, Rosselle Solomon, is also with us this evening. We welcome you, Rosselle. Dia and Matthew is the General Secretary of National YWCA. A warm welcome to you, dear Dia. Thank you for coming all the way from Delhi and joining us in our celebrations. It is with grateful heart that I welcome each one of you who have graciously accepted our invitation to be with us this evening. Your very presence is precious and gives us the impetus to soar higher with our mission of empowering women, inspiring change. We began our celebrations in January 2025 with a Thanksgiving service at Afghan Church with Dr. Dolly Henry as our chief guest, Russell Solomon as our guest of honor, and Reverend Daivasirvadam as celebrant. In February, we had our annual public meeting where journalist Faye D'Souza graced the occasion as the chief guest. Each of our buildings celebrated its foundation days with pomp and grandeur from March to June, with eminent personalities inaugurating each event and making them truly special. At the project's front, an ambitious entrepreneurship training was launched in June in collaboration with Don Bosco Institution. The commencement of YCAS program, a 4-month intense training for the youth in the community, transforming them into employment-worthy individuals, was an instant success. The safety of women in public places is yet another big project initiated under the Public Affairs and Social Issues Committee, popularly known as PASI. This will be an ongoing project with a clear mission of sensitizing men and women of this beautiful city towards 24/7 safety and zero crime against women as our mission. This project is conducted in collaboration with many other like-minded NGOs and advisories. Here we are in September, celebrating with all of you our journey for the past 150 years and our dreams for the future. Today, you will get a glimpse of all that we do through our documentary and reflections. Later this evening, you will be treated to a musical splendor written and directed by acclaimed actor, director, and writer Padma Damodran, Journey of a Seed of Faith, encapsulating our past, our present, and the future, the blue skies of hope. Our celebrations will go on till December, and we are certain that you will join us in all our future events too. A warm welcome to each one of you once again to this evening's program. God bless you all.
Thank you, Pavna ma'am, for those beautiful and encouraging words, highlighting our past journey and, of course, our beautiful dreams for the future. We are here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to celebrate a legacy that has touched lives for generations, from but a tiny seed to a tree in full bloom, weathering the storms and challenges for the last 150 years. And we will continue to do so in the years to come. All I can say is that it has indeed been grit and determination for the YWCA of Bombay since 1875. We now wish to felicitate our revered chief guest and our guests of honor, and I'd like to call upon our young board member, Divya John, to do the honors. Let's make some noise for Divya.
A very good evening to all of you here. It is my absolute honor to introduce to you our esteemed chief guest for this historic 150th year celebration, Dr. Anna Pulimur. Dr. Pulimud is a distinguished medical professional whose career reflects a rare blend of academic brilliance, visionary leadership, and deep social commitment. She completed her MBBS and postgraduate in training in pathology at the Christian Medical College, Vellore, and went on to pursue advanced training in gastrointestinal pathology at the Wellcome Trust Research Laboratory. Her academic journey also took her to the University of Newcastle upon Tyne in the UK, where she served as a research associate in the molecular biology and pathology. With a PhD focused on inflammatory bowel disorders and over 90 publications in reputed national and international journals, Dr. Pulimud is recognized globally for her contributions to the medical space. She has also been instrumental in securing and leading multiple national and international research and educational grants. Beyond academia, Dr. Pulimud has demonstrated an incredible commitment to sustainability. In 2006, she pioneered a solid waste recycling project at CMC Vellore that continues to this day, handling nearly 10 tons of non-medical waste daily. Her leadership at CMC spanned several key roles over the years: Deputy Director for Gifts and Grants, Vice Principal for MBBS students, Vice Principal for Human Resources, and most notably, Principal at the Medical College for 2016 to 2022. Today, she serves as academic advisor to the team, establishing a second CMC in Andhra Pradesh, and continues to shape the future of medical education as part of a national advisory board. On the personal front, Dr. Pulimud comes from a family dedicated to medicine. Her husband, daughters, and son-in-law are all doctors. She is also a proud grandmother to 3 little girls who are her joy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a very warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Anna Pulimud. May I call upon our treasurer, Sharon Sholman, to felicitate Dr. Pulimud. I now invite our board member, Husaina Barodawala, to introduce our next guest.
Thank you, Divya. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce No Gloria Mong Mong, a dynamic leader dedicated to women's empowerment, youth development, and social change. As a World YWCA board member, Gloria has shaped global leadership programs and represented Myanmar on international platforms, including the United Nations, raising her voice for gender equality, civic education, and human rights. She made history as the first young woman vice president of YWCA in Myanmar, serving 2 terms. And expanding opportunities for women and youth nationwide. Locally, she has chaired the Youth Committee and continues to mentor emerging leaders through impactful initiatives such as YTHASN and Rise Up Leads program. Professionally skilled in program planning, training, project management, and leadership mentoring, Gloria embodies courage, vision, and a deep belief in the power of women and young people to transform their communities. Her journey stands as an inspiration for intergenerational leadership and lasting social change. Please join me in welcoming No Gloria Mong Mong. I now call upon Assistant Treasurer Lalita Fernandez to felicitate Gloria. Thank you so much. Thank you. With that, I would like to call upon our treasurer, Sharon Solomon, to the podium. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce a remarkable individual whose journey embodies excellence across various facets of life. CA Anne Joseph. She is a practicing chartered accountant, managing partner of Joe's Maruthatu and Company. Anne was the best outgoing student in her school and went on to top ISC examination, bringing laurels to her school. And further honed her expertise through CA articleship at the renowned Varma and Varma Chartered Account firm in India. Beside her brilliant professional and academic accomplishment, Anne is passionately involved in several community projects, all executed successfully under her leadership. Representing Patanam Tita, YWCA of the Southwest region, I hope I pronounced it right, Anne has achieved a unique milestone. She was elected to both the World YWCA Board and the World YWCA Nominating Committee as the board representative. Her accomplishments speak volume about her dedication and the trust she has garnered on a global scale. We are proud to have you in our midst this evening as our guest of honor. May I invite Priya Daniel, our board member, to offer flowers to Anne Joseph. Thank you, Priya, and thank you, Anne. I now invite our Vice President, Nikita Panalkar, to the podium.
Good evening and namaskar to all. We are truly privileged to welcome Mrs. Kunjamma Matthew, co-founder and CEO of Moleto PMC Private Limited and the distinguished National President of the YWCA of India as today's guest of honor. As National President of one of the country's pioneering women's organizations, she has been at the forefront of advancing gender equality, climate action, education, healthcare, and economic empowerment. She has spearheaded impactful programs that have strengthened communities, expanded opportunities for women, and safeguarded rights through initiatives such as undertaking training and compliances under the POSH Act in leading institutions. Her leadership at the YWCA of India reflects a rare blend of vision, compassion, and determination to build a more just and inclusive society. Alongside her social commitments, Mrs. Matthew has over 3 decades of corporate leadership experience, having held senior roles in many reputed organizations and companies. Her journey is a true example of combining professional excellence with social responsibility, inspiring younger generation to lead with purpose. Thank you, Mrs. Matthews, for your invaluable contribution to the YWCA. I call upon our board member, Sylvia, to felicitate Mrs. Matthew. Thank you, Mrs. Matthew. Thank you, Sylvia. I now call upon our board member, Renuka Rubin, to kindly introduce our next guest of honor.
Thanks, Nikita. So she is based in Goa, but sousegard is the very last thing you would use to describe this lady. I have it on authority that our next speaker, Roselle Solomon, manages several roles with expertise and an early morning start at 4:30 a.m. She's the founder president of the Young Women's Christian Association of Goa and has served as on the national board as a national board member for the YWCA of India. When you meet her, what you will see is a sharp, intelligent, approachable, and warm person. But much like an iceberg, underneath lies years of experience and qualifications that make her the role model that she is today. With a master's in applied psychology, she has been working with women and children and youth as a counselor for over 2 decades and has conducted several sessions for children, parents, teachers, police, stakeholders in the tourism sector on issues that affect the children and their safety. Before counseling, she was state coordinator for the Human Rights Law Network, where she focused on legal mediation and legal counseling for victims of human rights violations. She has worked as a member of the Child Welfare Committee and the Department of Women and Children for the Government of Goa. Her early professional experiences were in youth work in the YMCA, both in India and Asia Pacific. Those who know her see her as an inspiration and vouch for the fact that she has a particular knack for spotting and nurturing potential in people. Please join me in a welcoming Roselle Solomon to Mumbai, the Vice President of the YWCA of India, on stage. And I request our board member, Alida D'Souza, to come up and felicitate Roselle. Please welcome our board member, Mrudul Raiborde, as she introduces the next speaker.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor this evening to introduce to you Ms. Dia Ann Matthew, a dynamic leader, advocate, and strategist who has been an integral part of the YWCA movement for the past 12 years. Since 2022, she has served as the National General Secretary of the YWCA of India, becoming one of the youngest individuals globally to hold this position. Under her visionary leadership, the YWCA of India, one of the country's oldest women's organizations, has seen renewed energy in its mission, strengthened visibility and accountability, and expanded focus areas including gender justice, climate justice, and youth empowerment, with a strong emphasis on nurturing young women leaders. Dia has played a key role in building strategic partnerships, amplifying advocacy on critical issues like ending child marriage and gender-based violence, and enhancing the role of women and youth in governance. Her leadership reflects a rare blend of grassroots engagement and high-level policy work, not just in India, but across the Asia-Pacific region. With a strong academic background of a double master's in business management, in finance, and banking, and a deep commitment to rights-based development, Dia Ann Matthew continues to inspire as a transformative voice for inclusive and gender-just societies. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Dia Ann Matthew this evening with a big round of applause. I now invite our board member, Sunila Arun Kumar, to kindly felicitate Dia. Thank you, Diya, and thank you, Sunila.
Let's have a round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for our chief guests and our guests of honor. We thank you for being here, ladies. We're grateful for your presence here this evening to celebrate with us. And of course, let's give a huge round of applause to our board members, Divya, Hussaina, Sharon, Nikita, Renuka, and Mridul, for those stellar introductions of our special guests. So, ladies and gentlemen, for 150 years, the YWCA of Bombay has been instrumental in creating an environment that is conducive for the development and the enhancement of women of our city. From conducting skilled training to grooming courses, from balwadis to old age homes, from education to entrepreneurship, we have done it all. The YWCA of Bombay is rooted in love and service. And therefore, we are extremely proud to be releasing our coffee table book commemorating our 150 years of this journey of love and service. This was possible with the tireless efforts of the editorial team, consisting members, staff, and our designer, the Movement India, and the printers, Abesna Printers. So may I request our chief guest, Dr. Anna Pulimud, and our guests of honor, now Gloria Mau Mau, Anne Joseph, Kunjama Matthew, Roselle Solomon, Dia Ann Matthew, along with our president, Pavna Anchis, and General Secretary, Therese George of the YWCA of Bombay, to release this beautiful illustrative book that chronicles the story of the YWCA of Bombay through its 150 pages. I'd like to invite our board member, Nisha Gopalan, on stage to hand over the books to our guests. May I also invite all the other board members of the YWCA of Bombay to be present on stage for this momentous event. Ladies, can we have you on stage, please? May we request everyone to kindly rise on stage for you and the audience. Stay seated, stay seated. For the ladies on stage, that's it. So once you've all got your books, let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our coffee table book commemorating our 150 years of our wonderful journey of the YWCA of Bombay. And when we all have a copy of the book in hand, we'd like you all to release it together. Shall we give them a countdown? On 3, 2, 1. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The YWCA of Bombay, our very own coffee table book. Thank you, everyone. Now, for those of you in the audience who'd wish to have your very own copy of the coffee table book, you can share your name with our designated member at the counter outside in the foyer. Our volunteers will help you with the cost, And I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that it will be a treasure that will adorn your library or your coffee table at home and make for some very interesting conversation, because when you have guests that come over and they take that book off the table, you've started a fresh conversation on the YWCA of Bombay. So it would be very nice, post the end of this program, for you to make sure that you also get yourself a copy. And we will definitely help you with the details from there on. Thank you, board members. So that was really interesting. 150 pages for 150 years. Only the Y could think of that. So we now come to that part of the evening, my dear friends, which you will find extremely inspiring. As you might already be aware, the YWCA of Bombay has been conducting entrepreneurial training sessions for women in our communities in collaboration with the Don Bosco Technical Institution for the past few months, as Pavna already said in her opening this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to inform you that a few women groups have gained great expertise in this field, and this evening, we wish to award them with the seed money for their entrepreneurial venture. So I'd like you to please give a huge round of applause to these novice entrepreneurs who I will be inviting on stage now. And you know what? They need your encouragement, ladies and gentlemen, because what is seed money without that round of applause? So give it up for Supriya, Shubhangi, Darshana, Sarika, Manisha, Vishaka, Aprana, Anita, and Pratiksha. Let's have you on stage. I think they're a bit overwhelmed, so they will take some time to come in. But we can keep clapping for them, right? Maybe they'll hear the applause and they will feel like walking in. It's quite possible their very first time on stage, ladies and gentlemen, and the nerves do get the best of us. So it is indeed our quest to uplift and empower women. And this does not end here, ladies and gentlemen. The YWCA of Bombay will constantly be looking to enhance and empower women and continue to train more groups of women and offer them seed money in the future. But if our ladies are ready, let's have them on stage. So we have Vishaka, who's representing all these wonderful women present here, and she will be accepting the check on their behalf. May I request our chief guest, Dr. Anna Pulimud, to hand over the check to the leader of these confident women. That's Vishaka Baswat for you, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, she plays more roles than one. You will see her in the upcoming musical as well. So there you have it. Our budding entrepreneurs commencing their maiden journey. And congratulations not only to them, but also to the YWCA of Bombay for identifying talent and ensuring that women get these opportunities to move ahead in life. because this is exactly what the Y does, ladies and gentlemen. Finds them and helps them grow. So once again, let's give it up for the Y. Now, after witnessing that inspiring moment, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to invite to the stage President YMCA of India, Mrs. Kunjama Matthew, to say a few words on this very special occasion of completing 150 years of the YWCA of Bombay. May I have her at the mic, please?
Welcome.
Respected dignitaries, esteemed guests, dear YWCA leaders, members of YWCA Mumbai, and well-wishers and members' families. A warm good evening to all of you. I will exalt you, my God the King. I will praise your name forever and ever. One generation commends your work to another. They tell of your mighty acts. They speak of the glorious splendor of your majesty, and I will meditate on your wonderful works. This is a beautiful psalm, Psalm 145, which I can remember when I remember about YWCA of Mumbai. It is with immense pride, profound gratitude, and deep joy that I stand before you today on this historic occasion, the Sesquicentennial celebration of YWCA of Mumbai. YWCA of Mumbai has completed 150 years of faithful service to women, youth, and the community. When YWCA Mumbai was founded in 1875, it was among one of the first YWCAs in the Asia. It began as a safe space for young women who came to Mumbai in search of education and livelihood. What started as a small initiative has become a powerful movement that provided shelter, dignity, and hope today. Through the decades, YWCA Mumbai pioneered working women's hostel, vocational training institutes, children's programs, nursing schools, shelter homes, and advocacy for peace and justice. On this special day, I bow in gratitude to the founding members of 1875, whose courage and hope has begun this journey, and the leaders and members who worked across decades, who built and sustained this movement. I congratulate the current membership, Board of Management, and staff of YWCA Bombay, who continue to carry the torch with dedication to giving their time, skills, and a piece of their hearts. I convey the blessings and best wishes from the National YWCA Board of Management to you, all of you. Let us look forward with hope, because you are not just celebrating a legacy. You are opening a door for future. A future where every girl can dream, every woman can lead, and every community can thrive. As National President of YWCA of India, I see YWCA Bombay as one of the pillars of the movement. It has the most vibrant membership and passionate too. And it has been consistently nurtured many leaders to the national movement. Just a few months ago, I had the privilege of representing YWCA of India and the World YWCA at the HLPF 2025. HLPF is held at the United Nations headquarters, New York, and it is about high-level political forum. This forum is the place where the UN is evaluating every country for their adherence to the UN goals, which are SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals for the UN, and some of them are like ending poverty, hunger, ensuring good health and well-being, ensuring quality education, gender equality, etc. I carried with me the voices of women from India, women from cities, villages, and YWCAs like YWCA Bombay. So, in this forum, the political leaders from all the countries have come and they were discussing about the climate change, opportunity for decent work, gender justice, and peace building. So as I realized, I was sitting there, I realized something which is very powerful. The conversations in New York, which has happened in the last week of July, is actually deeply connected with what we are doing in every local YWCA, like YWCA Bombay. For example, when the world talks about climate action, it is about protecting the trees and rivers and farmlands of Bombay, Pune, Palghar, or Maharashtra at large. When the world is talking about women's safety, it is all about the women of Mumbai traveling safe and secure, without fear and with a lot of courage. And they are confident when they are walking around, fearlessly. When the world talks about decent job, it is all about young women from the slums of Bombay is being trained for being a baker or nurses or caregivers by YWCA Bombay, and they are finding a decent job to have in their city. So what we do in YWCA Bombay is deeply connected with the world at large and what the UN is thinking about. So the World YWCA has its own bold vision about 2035. This includes 100 million young women and girls will transform the power structures to create justice, gender equality, and a sustainable future for all. Another one is every woman will have access to safe spaces, opportunities, and leadership platforms. Again, young women will lead movements for peace, climate justice, and human rights. When we think about this, we understand that all these are happening in YWCA Bombay because through its hostels, through its programs, its advocacy, you are all creating safe spaces already. And these spaces are being used by many women. And this is happening even before the world is talking about safe spaces, which is commendable. So, even as we celebrate today, we know that the women and girls in the city are not safe. There are issues which we are facing today, which are like gender-based violence in homes, workplaces, and also in public spaces. Then there is barriers for education and employment for women, and this is holding them back. And there is climate and environmental changes, which is actually affecting the poor and women. So, these realities are giving us a call to act, and the urgent action need to be taken moving forward. So, I want to challenge the YWCA Bombay with 5 areas if you can step in the next 150 years. Number 1, women's leadership. Invest in young women's leadership, not only in YWCA, but in churches, in schools, public places, and workplaces, also in every sphere of the society. Number 2, digital and skill empowerment. You start initiatives in entrepreneurship and digital literacy rights for girls. This will prepare them to stand in front on their feet in this current times. Number 3, climate. Organize eco-projects which are around the city, tree planting, waste management, kitchen gardens, etc., etc. The list is limitless. So, number 4, care work. Promote the dignity and love for women's care work which is often invisible but priceless. Number 5, political environment, which is empowering women for politics for tomorrow. As you all know, in 2029 general elections, when women get 33% reservation, and YWCA should be in a position to send women MPs and women MLAs, so MPs to the parliament and MLAs to the legislative assembly. Dear YWCA Bombay, if you take all these steps, you are not only strengthening the community, but you are going through in alignment with the World YWCA and also with the UN. So you might think, how can you do this? Yes, how can you do this? You can do by strengthening your membership. What type of membership you should have? You should have membership who are willing to work, who are giving their time. And you should have membership from every walks of life. Don't wait for only the strata. We need to have members from lower, upper, middle strata of the society. We are an inclusive organization. We are an inclusive movement. So, include associate members into your communities, from other communities and religions into your programs, and increase your youth membership by opening up YWCAs to youth by strengthening and starting youth wings in nearby colleges. Increase your membership base for in the missing generation. Which is the missing generation? You would know, 31 to 55 years. We have very less members in YWCAs. We should be searching, actively involving them in YWCA activities. They are all there. You need to search for them. They start YDBA programs in YWCAs. YDBAs are programs for 8 to 18 years children, both girls and boys. Our YWCA compound should be filled with the children. They should be learning, and we should be actually equipping them for tomorrow. So we should be getting them from where all? From our own houses, from the neighbors' houses, and also from all the schools around you. Can you do that? Yes. So we have to include, we have to be an inclusive society. Okay? So you know that our foremothers have taken a lot of hardships, and they have actually laid the foundation work. And you are taken the mantle and you are actually running with it. And you are also doing very well. However, our young women, our girls they are not just leaders waiting. They are the leaders of today, and we should be actually taking them as leaders, hold them together, and we should be actually moving further. Why we should have youngsters in our among to make the movement going another 150 years? Because they carry the hope for the future. They understand the language of the future. Their fierce and fresh energy is dearly needed for the moment, and we need their ideas, their thought process, and along with our wisdom and our experience. So what we need to do? We should be holding together. The young members and not so young members should be holding hands together and raising the torch till you drop, and they move it forward. That is called intergenerational leadership. So this is a time and call for intergenerational leadership in YWCA. And only this intergenerational leadership will take your YWCA to another 150 years. So I quote the words of Madam Emma Roberts, who is one of the founding members of the YWCA movement. We are many parts, but one spirit, one purpose, one movement for peace and justice. May God bless YWCA Bombay and its members abundantly as you begin this new chapter of another 150 years. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Kunjama Matthew, President, YWCA of India. Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging words. We are inspired by you, and thank you most for your 5-point plan for the YWCA of Bombay. I'm sure Pavna and her team will be geared up for the next 150 years to take this forward. And we will bring the boomers, the millennials, and the Gen Zs together to strengthen the YWCA. I can see so many of you sitting here. Go back home today and enroll one more member. So after those beautiful and encouraging motivational words from Mrs. Kunjama Matthew, I am now honored to invite to the podium our chief guest this evening, Dr. Anna Pulimud, to share a few words of encouragement. Ma'am, over to you. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Miss Gloria, Miss Anne Joseph, Miss Kunjama Matthew, Miss Roselle Solomon, Miss Dia Ann Matthew, Miss Pavna, Miss Therese, and friends. First of all, let me say how happy I am to be here in your midst on this very special occasion. A very big thank you to Miss Pavna and Miss Therese for inviting me to be here. I realize it's an honor that I qualify for, probably because I'm representing a sister institution. And we are sister institutions, each started by women, for women, and of women. Somewhere along the way, CMC Vellore had to expand to include men as patients, as students in the college, to facilitate recognition by the university and national bodies. But we always kept our commitment to women, our reservation of seats for women in the medical college, importance to maternal and child health in the hospital, and equal opportunities for women on the faculty. And before I begin, I would like to congratulate the Bombay YWCA for the incredible work they're doing here for the women of Mumbai. I think it's amazing that an institution should be so vibrant and effective even after 150 years. That's an amazing, amazing thing. As I thought about what I should share with you today, one theme came to me, and that was empowerment. And after coming here, I realized it's one of the buzzwords of the YWCA, and I think it follows through very well on Mrs. Kunjama Matthew's talk, because it's about how do you motivate people to take part in activities like that of the YWCA. So empowerment is what our institutions are about. Empowerment of the marginalized, the poor, the disabled, the less privileged. And it's at the core of what all Christian institutions should be about. Empowerment is the truth behind all great achievements. It enables people to reach their maximum potential and fulfill the roles that God had planned for them in this world. We ourselves have to be empowered to empower others. So empowerment is something we have to understand very clearly. There are three aspects of empowerment that I would like to briefly think about based on what I have seen in other people's lives and from my own experience. Three aspects. The first is the calling, the second is the preparation, and the third is the action itself. Empowerment starts with a calling. We become aware of our calling either early in life or later on. It may be sudden or gradual. We often have different callings at different points in our lives. But a calling requires some change in the course of our thoughts and plans and actions. Each of us have characters based on our talents, our interests, our motivation, opportunities, and we're shaped by our family, friends, teachers, education, and career we choose. God uses all or any of these to play a part in our calling. And a calling can be to start something new, but equally to serve someone or a group in a special way, or even just to be a prayer support for someone in a very special way. Countless other things. Jackie Robinson, the first Black American to play in Major League Baseball and to herald the end of racial segregation in professional baseball in the US, once said, "A life isn't significant except for its impact on others' lives. A life isn't significant except for its impact on others' lives." And Mahatma Gandhi used to say, The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So a calling is usually in the service of others, something we realize inside ourselves, but also endorsed by circumstances, events, or people around us. Our motto in CMC is not to be served, but to serve. We emphasize the fact to our students that our role as doctors or healthcare professionals is not just a career, but a calling to care deeply for others, whatever the cost. Not to be served ourselves, but to serve others. A calling may be a dramatic event or a gradual awareness. Our founder, Dr. Ida Scudder, as a young girl, never wanted to be a missionary. She aspired for a comfortable life in the US with a family of her own. But her calling came by way of what happened one night in Dindigul, a small town in Tamil Nadu, where she was nursing her mother through an illness. Darkness had set and everyone was asleep when there was a knock on the door, and Ida answered the door. A young man had come to look for a doctor to help his wife who was in labor. He wanted the young Ida to go with him, and when she said that she was not qualified and that her father was a qualified doctor, he refused. He said he could never allow another male to help with his wife's delivery. He returned home alone. Soon there was another knock, another young man with the same request and the same refusal to allow a man to help his wife in labor. And then a third knock and the same request a third time. And for the third time, a man turned away. Ida was devastated and could not sleep that night. As the sun rose and day set in, Ida watched with immense sadness 3 funeral pyres going past her house. All 3 women had died in labor that night. She couldn't rest till she decided that she would go back to the US, train as a doctor, and return to India to help the women who needed her. That was her calling, and it changed her understanding of the meaning of life and the course she had to take. So a calling asks for a commitment of our time, energy, and other resources to be of service to others. The second step in empowerment is the preparation. We can't jump into action usually the moment we have an idea. God prepares us in our environment for the work He calls us to. Preparation frequently requires patience, learning, and often involves facing adversity or problems. Dr. Mary Verghese was a famous surgeon in CMC Vellore. Her dream had been to become a gynecologist, but soon after she qualified as a doctor, she met with an accident that left her permanently paralyzed from the waist down. She was deeply depressed and her hopes for her career seemed dashed to the ground. As she was recuperating from her illness, she was invited by Dr. Paul Brand to come and work with him. Dr. Paul Brand was a famous missionary surgeon known for doing the first reconstructive surgery for the deformed hands of patients with leprosy in the world, and he did that in Vellore. Although that was not her interest, she accepted the invitation and started to operate with him. While getting rehabilitated herself, she became a good reconstructive surgeon. She went to a top rehab institute in New York and learned for herself the best rehab practices in the world. When she returned to India, she continued her surgical work and started the first rehab institute in the country. It continues to be a place of excellence in rehab and a major center for training of doctors, physiotherapists, and other professionals in the field. For Mary Verghese, preparation for her calling involved a major adversity, paralysis and the dashing of her hopes. But God used her commitment to His service to plan a new future for her. And so our interests and talents are honed in the direction of our calling. We often can't see that during the time of preparation, but life reveals to us in the long run, often, why major and minor crises are allowed into our lives and how patience, perseverance, and faith in God through these times shapes our lives for better service to others. Preparation may seem hard, boring, or even pointless at the time, but it's an essential part of empowerment. The third aspect of empowerment is the actual actions we take and the sacrifices we often have to make. Dr. Scudder wanted a normal life for herself, but God led her to the women of India. She established a hospital that grew into a center of excellence. She started a medical college that has provided doctors who have in cumulative given thousands of years of service to the country. And she left behind a legacy that inspires so many people and provides hope for countless sick people across the country and outside. As it is said, God is no man's debtor. He repays our service with joy and satisfaction and the fulfilling of our hopes and dreams. It's true we have to give up many things, but he ensures that all our needs are taken care of. So in summary, empowerment involves a calling, often a change in course of our lives. It involves preparation, the developing of skills, patience, and often adversity to get us ready for the work. And empowerment finally calls for action and sacrifice for its fulfillment and to bear fruit. The history of your institution and mine is full of people who have been empowered to act in unique ways. Actions don't have to be big to be meaningful. Mother Teresa once said, "We ourselves feel that what we're doing is just a drop in the ocean, but the ocean would be less because of that missing drop." And so to continue the story of our institutions, I pray that each one of us will know our calling and be empowered to empower others. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pulimud, for your presence here this evening and for those absolutely inspiring words. Thank you so much for your recognition of the YWCA of Bombay. We will definitely strive to continue to empower and uplift not just women, but also the marginalized communities as well. Thank you. So as we come to the close of the official program, and when I say official, I mean people coming and speaking, because we are going to go into something a little more exciting post this. It is always fitting to have the vote of thanks. And to do the honors this evening, I'd like to call upon General Secretary Therese George to propose the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Therese George.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Management of the YWCA of Bombay, it is my privilege to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all who have made this Sesquicentennial celebration such a memorable occasion. First and foremost, we thank Almighty God for His grace and blessings that has guided the YWCA of Bombay through 150 years of service, growth, and commitment to community. We express our deepest appreciation to our chief guest, Dr. Anna Pulimud, and our guest of honor for gracing this historic occasion with their presence, encouragement, and inspiring words. Our sincere thanks also go to our special guests, networking partners, members, and staff of the YWCA of Bombay, and most importantly, the men, women, and children of our community. Your active participation in our programs continues to give meaning and purpose to our mission. A special note of gratitude is extended to all who have contributed to the coffee table book and souvenir, from concept to design and printing. We thank the Movement India for designing the coffee table book, Ebenezer Printers for printing both books. We thank Mr. Joel Joshua for so beautifully capturing a day at YWCA through the documentary When a Woman Rises, which you will soon watch. We thank Samiksha, Afreen, and Valina, who will share their life experiences at YWCA later in the evening. Our deepest appreciation to Ms. Padma Damodaran and her team for the journey of A Seed of Faith, a musical which is inspirational. We eagerly look forward to this presentation. We extend our sincere thanks to our gracious anchor, Ms. Bianca Rose Mayer, for guiding us through the evening with charm and elegance. We are grateful to St. Andrew's Auditorium for providing this wonderful venue and to Family Table for their hospitality in serving refreshments. Our appreciation also goes to Mr. Puneet and his team for videography, photography, and other arrangements in the auditorium, and to Mr. Dion and the event management team for their seamless support. Finally, to each one of you present here, your support, encouragement, and presence has made this 150th celebration truly special. With gratitude in our hearts, we look forward to your continued partnership as we carry the mission of YWCA forward into the future. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Therese, for giving credit where credit is due. It is indeed great teamwork, ladies and gentlemen, that has made this evening absolutely wonderful and possible for the YWCA of Bombay. Celebrating 150 years is no mean feat, and I think they've done a fabulous, fabulous program today. But, you know, what good is having people on stage when we don't have people in the audience? So we'd like to thank you all and give yourselves a big round of applause. We appreciate you being with us here this evening. May I now request our distinguished guests to kindly take their seats in the audience, please.